Hey, everybody! It's Virtual Assistant Jumpstart time. I hope that you guys have been enjoying this free 5-day series, and we're on day 4. Can you believe it already? We've made it to day 4 of our series, and I'm super excited because today we're going to be talking all about the biggest mistakes that you could make in your business this year. So, new year, fresh start. I know that so many of you guys are just ready. You are pumped to start your virtual assistant businesses this year. So let's go ahead, plan ahead. I know maybe we have some worst case scenario people. I'm like, my motto is like, plan for the worst and hope for the best. And so I always am like, okay, but what could happen? So I like to know, what are the worst things that I could do in my business, right? What are the biggest pitfalls, the biggest mistakes that I could make, because I want to actually avoid doing those things, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today in day 4 of our Business Jumpstart. Let me know in the comments, have you guys been enjoying this series? What's been your favorite day so far? Day 1, day 2, day 3. In day 1, we talked about your big why. We set some goals. In day 2, we went through, what do you really need to get started? What do you actually need to become a virtual assistant? Yesterday, we talked all about time blocking and really just revolutionizing your time so that you can be the most effective that you can be this year. And then today we're talking about your biggest mistakes. So let me know which day has, made the biggest impact for you. So as a reminder, Melanie's here with me. Melanie's the director of the SavvySystem. If you can't know, hey. And so she's going to be, hanging out with us in the comments, and then she'll come in at the very end to help answer questions. And it's been really fun having you on to answer the questions, Melanie. So thanks for joining me.
Yeah, of course. This is awesome.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to jump in and go ahead and get started, because I know that you guys are anxious to do so. One thing real quick, tomorrow, guys, tomorrow. How many of you guys are already on the wait list for the SavvySystem? The SavvySystem is opening its doors tomorrow. We only launch the course twice a year, and it's our signature training program for virtual assistants. So let me know if you have already signed up to be on the wait list. We're going to be sending out a special early bird coupon for those of you who are on the wait list. So super, super, super excited for that. Okay, let's do this. Let's go ahead and jump right into our business challenge. Day 4, here we go. So again, we're talking all about how to start your virtual assistant business in 2021. I'm so excited that you guys are here joining me. So many of you guys have shown up every single day, which has been amazing. And we're just really ready to jump in and do this thing. So today is day 4. And I just want to remind you guys, before we do jump in, to put away any distractions. Just let this be your focus. Let this be your you time, because you deserve time to work on your business, to focus on, man, what are the big things I'm going to accomplish this year? Number 2, if you experience any technical difficulties, if you can't hear me or if it freezes, anything like that, just refresh your screen. 99% of the time, it actually fixes the problem. And so just a little reminder about that. My team is in the comments. Big shout out to the TVS team. Everybody, give them some love in the comments, because they have just been rapid fire answering you guys' comments. It's been so cool to see how much interaction that you guys are having there in the comments. My team is amazing. And so they're answering questions. And then again, Melanie will be jumping on at the very end, and we'll do a live Q&A session. And so today we're talking about the worst business mistakes that you can make in 2021. What are the things that are, the biggest pitfalls, the biggest stumbling blocks that you could run into? That's what we're going to talk about today. So again, hi, I'm Abby. If for some reason you're just joining us today, maybe you didn't catch the first 3 days of the Jumpstart series, a little bit about me. I'm Abby Ashley, founder of the Virtual Savvy. I have a family that I absolutely love. I have a 5 and a 7-year-old. They are my world, my amazing husband, who now works in the business as well. For those of you who have a goal to retire your husband, that happened just a few years ago, and it's been a really cool experience having the two of us work together. A little bit, just some random facts about me. In my 20s, I planned to leave the country every single year and did so. So I traveled all over. I went to Guatemala, Colombia, Dominican Republic, a lot in Central South America. went over to Europe for a little while. And then right before I got married, I actually lived for 4 months in Costa Rica as well. Traveling is a huge, huge, huge value for me. I absolutely love traveling, and it's just one of my many whys why I love, flexible work. I'm an amateur beatboxer, emphasis on the amateur. And, I've always wanted to contribute to my family, feel like I had something that was really mine. And so, we've gone now from contributing to my family to being the sole income earner and having my husband even work in the business. So it's just been a really cool evolution how this started as a way to kind of make some side money from home. But it's gone to just really transform our entire family. So a little bit about what we're going to be going over today. Number one, I'm going to show you the top mistakes that you could make when starting your VA business. Then we will do a live Q&A time. So go ahead and be kind of gathering your questions, thinking about what you want to chat with me about. And then lastly, we'll do the Be Bold challenge. So if you guys have been joining us for the last 3 days, we've every day my team has given me a random dare, and they've been really ridiculous. So if you want to see me embarrass myself at the end of this challenge or at the end of this presentation, stay tuned for the Be Bold challenge. It'll be at the very end. All right. So we're going to jump right in. Now, so many of you guys, I asked you on Monday, how many of you have decided that this is your year? And we just got this overwhelming response. Go ahead and let me know in the comments, have you decided that this is your year? If the answer is yes, and you've decided this is my power year, this is the year that I'm going to start my business, I'm going to make things happen, I'm going to face my fears, right? The best thing that you can do is to make sure you know what's ahead. And like I said, I've trained over 3,000 people inside of my programs. And so we know, right? We know kind of the pitfalls that people fall into. What are the things, the biggest mistakes people make? And what are the things that, if they know those mistakes ahead of time, they can face them head on and overcome them, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. It's going to be really, really good. So here we go. The 4 biggest mistakes that you can make in your business. Number 1, you try to find time instead of making time. Now, we talked about this a little bit yesterday when we talked about our time management, but I just can't emphasize it enough, right? We talked about the 2 things you really need in your business is time and accountability. Excuse me. 2. Are you guys like a 2 sneezer or 3 sneezer? I'm a 2 sneezer. I always sneeze 2 times. Okay. You try to find time instead of making time. And so when it comes to your business, you have to actually set aside the time. And so if you're like, Abby, I know I just don't have the time right now, or I haven't set aside that time, go back, listen to our live stream from yesterday, because coming into a rhythm where you're actually prioritizing your task, you're having devoted and not distracted time in your business is going to be key. And we recommend having at least an hour a day. So carve it out. What's that going to look like inside of your calendar, right? Have it show up in your calendar every day. All right, this is when I'm going to work my business. Or maybe you can't do an hour every day. Maybe you have to do, a Monday night and a Saturday, and you have to do big chunks of time then. That's fine too, right? I know that all of us are coming into this business at a different point. Some of you guys have full-time jobs. Some of you guys have, your homeschooling, or you, are a full-time stay-at-home mom, whatever it may be. We're all coming into this with different availability. And so the best thing that you can do is kind of plan out, when is my devoted time going to be in my business? How many of you guys, let me know in the comments, how many of you have actually done that already? You're like, yes, Abby, I did it. I carved out my time. And you can even let me know, when is that time going to be? Is it going to be an hour a day? Is it going to be a couple chunks throughout the week? There's no wrong way to do this, which is really cool, right? There's no wrong way to do this, but if you don't prioritize and make the time to have devoted, concentrative time to work on your business, it's a big mistake. So number 2 is you don't find accountability. Yes, I know we talked about this yesterday, but again, it's the 2 things that you have to have in your business to succeed is time and accountability. So what are you going to do to, build that accountability into your business? We challenged you the other day to tell someone about your business, and a bunch of you guys, emailed in or commented and said, Abby, I did it. It was scary, but I told my best friend, I told my spouse, I told my mom, whatever. I told someone about my business. That's Amazing. And it's a huge first act of courage. Another act of courage is really finding some kind of accountability. So, is there, an entrepreneur, a local entrepreneurship group? Is there, is it a Facebook group? Is it a one person accountability partner? Where is that built in accountability going to be? Inside of our course, we actually build that in for you. So part of one of your assignments, you have different assignments throughout the course, and we actually assign you the task of finding an accountability partner. So inside of our group, different people are, finding accountability partners. We also do a monthly accountability call where we get, there's different stages of your business. So we bring you in and we say, hey, okay, what stage of business are you at? And we meet all together, and we actually have a format where you meet with different people, and it's an accountability environment, and that's just built into the course. So if you're struggling with finding that accountability, then the Savvy System might be the right option for you. Again, we open the doors tomorrow. I'm so excited. So you can get on the VIP list for 10% off the cost of the course if you go to SavvySystem.com. If you're like, Abby, I need that accountability, I need it so bad, it's one of the many things that's awesome about the Savvy System. All right, next, 3, you try to figure it out on your own. And this is a really big pitfall that we see people fall into. Guys, I am obsessed with courses and coaching, like so much. If you saw the list of courses I own, it's a little ridiculous. But however, a course is only as good as if you use it. And why is an online course a good way to do something? Some of you guys have maybe never purchased an online course before. It's kind of a newer thing, right? Is I know about going to college and taking courses that way, but like purchasing one single course to learn one single topic. I got my degrees, right? I got a bachelor's, I got a master's, associates, and they were even in marketing. But what I've learned about marketing and about different online topics from online courses is 10x, 20x, 100x what I learned in college. And I'm just being straight up with you, right? Because normally online courses are very, very pinpointed to one particular subject. In our instance, we teach you how to start a VA business, right? I'm not teaching you how to start, an Etsy shop or an e-commerce store, very specific, right? And so I think that's the benefit of an online course. You don't have to do an online course, guys. I'm telling you, you don't have to. I have one. I think it's great, but there are people who start their businesses without an online course. I mean, that we all know that. But here's the difference. Are you trying to figure it out completely on your own? Do you have somebody that can guide you and mentor you and tell you, hey, maybe don't do that, or hey, this proposal needs a little bit of work, right? And somebody who's going to give you real feedback is just going to just really emphasize and give you that extra oomph. So I've always had a coach in my life. I've always had some kind of a course or something. I was going through some kind of mentorship in my life. Even now, I'm starting a second business. A lot of you guys don't even know about it yet. We're working on building a marketplace for VAs and clients to connect, right? A place where you guys can continue to market your skills. It's going to be awesome. I don't know what I'm doing. I literally don't know what I'm doing. And so I'm finding mentors, I'm finding people who have built businesses like this and who can say, hey, do this. Hey, watch out for this. And so it's so important. I'm practicing what I'm preaching on my end too. I'm finding those mentors. And it's why I believe that I've been able to have the success I have in my business is because I've always had somebody pouring into me. So don't try to figure it out on your own. I'm not saying you have to do an online course, although I do believe that that's a great way, but is there somebody, mentoring you along in this process? Following a map is the fastest way to get to your destination, right? And I know this to be true. I remember I moved to Florida for college. So I was like 18. My mom and I, we drive to Florida and we start thinking, I'm like, man, we have like 4 hours until orientation. We should go to the beach. We're in Florida. I want to go see the ocean, right? And so this was like back in the day where you printed out MapQuest instructions. So we had internet, but we didn't have like a GPS or anything like that. At least we couldn't afford one at that time. And so I was like, well, this isn't that hard. Like, let's just start driving east, right? Wait, no, west. I was in Florida. So I was on the West Coast. So we wanted to start driving west. So we knew which way was west. We like literally like looked at the sun and we started driving. And can I tell you something? We never found the ocean. We drove around for like an hour and we got turned around and we got like, in fact, we ended up crossing over into this little inlet, which didn't even, I mean, you eventually would have got to the ocean, but it was such a mess. And we didn't have a map, right? We didn't have an instruction. We didn't have a guide to tell us where we were going. We did find a really awesome fruit stand and we got fruit instead, like fresh fruit. So that was a good thing. But you know, how cool that would have been if we actually would have found the ocean. And I find that this is like a lot of virtual assistants out there. They're out there and they're like, oh, you know, I read this ebook on being a virtual assistant and I binge watched Abby's blogs or I binge watched her YouTube channel. And then I downloaded this little like $20 thing. And then I did this. And then, oh, well, Dubsado has some guides on how to onboard. And you're trying just to piece it all together. And what happens when you're just trying to piece all this information together, you end up being like overwhelmed and kind of like analysis paralysis. Like, what am I doing here? What, like, there's not a step-by-step plan. So can you figure it out on your own? Absolutely, yes. But having a step-by-step plan, a checklist, it just is so helpful. So even if you take all that free information and come up with your own plan, right? Like at least have a step-by-step plan, which is why we created our course to be that. And then number 4, and this is the biggest one, guys, is if you let fear outweigh your motivation. And I have just found that everything else, you know, the top 3 things, the top 3 mistakes, those are big mistakes. But honestly, like you can push through those pretty easily. Number 4, if you let fear hold you back, like it's a done deal. You're not going to succeed in this business. And I'm just being really frank with you. It's honestly the biggest thing out of all of these. This is the top one, which is really sad, right? That it's not actually a physical, oh, it's not that I don't physically have enough time. It's not that I physically don't have somebody in my life to help me. It's that we just can't overcome our own fear to actually get out there. And so that's, you have to let fear outweigh your motivation. So this is my question is what's on the other side of your fear? We talked about on Monday, your why, right? And I feel like that's why I had you post it in a prominent place. And hopefully you put your why somewhere where you can see it every single day. Because that's what's on the other side of your fear, right? That flip the switch goal, that why is what is on the other side. And for you guys, that's what's going to motivate you on the other side of your fear. Now I want to show you something else because I feel like this is important. Again, some of your flip the switch goals were actual monetary goals. And I think that's awesome. Like, I think it's awesome that we are comfortable enough to talk about money, to talk about like, hey, I made my first $1,000, boom, and we can celebrate it with one another, right? And I also think it's great for us to have monetary goals. And even though probably your why is not a monetary goal, most of us have a bigger reason than just money of why we're doing this business. Getting money, actually having a profitable business is what makes this a business and not a hobby, right? And so actually having money coming in is an important part of your business. So I just wanted to take a moment to show you guys, what does it actually look like when you break it down? And when we go through this and we look at some of these numbers, I want you to start to think, man, could that help facilitate my why? My why is to pay off all of my debt, right? To live completely debt free. Could this help you get there? My flip the switch goal is to travel around in an RV with my husband, right? Could this help you get there? That's what I want you to be thinking about. That's what I want you to be asking yourself. Okay. So let's just break down because I want to actually talk about the numbers. I want us not to be afraid to talk about money. So what could it actually look like to build this business? So we train RVAs inside of our signature program to start at about $25 or $30 an hour if you're doing general admin tasks. Now, again, I don't want you guys to get too stuck up on that because another thing that we talk about is the fact that you can start a little bit lower and raise it as you're more comfortable, if that seems like a lot. But really, if you're breaking it down, you're an independent contractor, so you're paying income taxes or you're paying, your own taxes, you're paying extra in other areas, equipment, etc. And so really $30 an hour is a very, very good rate to start with. So it's what most of our people do. So let's say that you start at $30 an hour. And then what we teach you to do is to do incremental pricing increases. So what you want to do is you want to increase from $30 an hour to $32.50. And for your next client, $35, $37, right? So what you want to do is you want to do that incremental pricing. So I just want you to give you a breakdown of what it could look like 6 months or so into your business, right? Let's say you're working 30 hours a month at $37 an hour. That's kind of where you've landed as far as your general pricing goes. That's $1,000 a month, $1,110, which altogether would be a $57,000 salary. Yes, you have to take taxes out of it, and we talk about all of that inside of the course. But if you're thinking about, man, 30 hours, not even full time working, and I am bringing home this kind of salary working for myself, not bad, right? But this is really just the beginning, because what we like to teach you to do is then to add high-end packages, right? And so those high-end packages could be anywhere from $1,000 up to $5,000, $10,000, right? But usually in that like $1,000 to $5,000 range is what our high-end packages are that we teach you how to do inside of our system. So let's say we'll go on the low end of that. You sell 3 $1,200 packages a month. It's a Facebook ads package. It's a mega Pinterest package. It's 3 simple Squarespace websites a month, whatever that may be. You're adding an extra $3,600 a month to your total income, right? So it's an extra $43,000. So you take the 57 plus the 43, we're looking at a 6-figure salary. And the cool part is, guys, there's so much you can do from even here. Once you start to realize, man, I got 3 clients to do these high-end packages and they don't take as much time as doing my hourly, maybe you switch to doing only high-end packages, which we see so many of our clients do. Maybe you start to realize, man, I want to employ other people. I want to actually bring in subcontractors to help me with the work. Well, now you're not limited by only working 30 hours or only taking those 3 high-end client packages anymore. Now the amount of clients you can take in is essentially unlimited if you can continue to hire good subcontractors, right? And so this really can be a starting off point, which is so cool. And so I love to kind of break this down because I want you to ask yourself, what could this look like for me? Maybe these numbers aren't the same. Maybe you don't have 30, 40 hours a week. Maybe you can only do this part-time. Okay, well, working part-time, working in your own time, how does half of this amount sound? Again, we're not guaranteeing this amount. It's up to you and your own effort and how much you work, but this is kind of the general path that we see people go in, right? This is what healthy growth looks like. And generally what we'll find inside of our program is people will take the first month, get everything set up. They'll do their first outreach and land that first client. It may just be a small package, right? Maybe it's 10 hours a month, $25 an hour. You're making about $250 a month in your business now. Awesome. After the first month, hey, you've already paid for the cost of the SavvySystem, right? You 3x'd that. So then what's next? Next is you get more clients, gain more traction, right? More clients. You get 2 clients. Eventually by month 3 or 4, you're fully booked. And this is, again, this isn't what everybody does, but this is kind of the pattern that we would love to see you guys go in. And when we say our program is a year-long program, this is essentially what that could look like, right? And so what does fully booked mean? For most people, it's 4 to 5 clients. If that's with working full time too, right? That's about that like 30 hours a month range is, man, I'm fully booked on client work. This is awesome. Now, what are the skills that I'm actually enjoying? What do I actually like doing that I'm doing with my clients? And could I turn one of those things into a high-end service? One of my clients asked me to do Pinterest and I'm actually really loving it. Maybe I'll turn that into my high-end service. So you add in your high-end service, right? You become fully booked in your high-end service. Then you subcontract that. You get subcontractors to help you with it. And right, then it's scaling and the sky's the limit. So I know I have a friend who has 64 subcontractors, right? Like she's built this whole massive agency. So it's really up to you. And for some of you, you're looking at this and you're like, Abby, I just like that fully booked, like $1,500 a month, like that's perfect. That's all I want. I need like 4 clients. I could get $1,500 a month and like, shoot, that would help my family so much. That's so much. That's awesome. Like you can stop at any point. This doesn't have to be that you go all the way to building a multi 6-figure business. Like it doesn't have to be that if it doesn't want to. And that's what's so cool about this business is that you can kind of customize it to be what you want it to be. So what do you want it to be, right? And we looked at, we kind of looked at this chart of this is what could happen. And if you want to screenshot this or something on your computer or your phone, go ahead and take a moment to do that. Because what I want you to do is I want you to come up with your own goals. And we have this monthly goals spreadsheet. I'll give you the link for it in just a second. But essentially what I want you to do is I want you to break apart, right? Month 1, I want to land that first client. Month 2, second client. 3, I want to get clients 4 and 5. You can kind of, once you get the hang of marketing, it gets a little bit easier. Then I want to add that high-end service. I want to start subcontracting and write down monetary goals too. This is how much money I want to be making in my business at these different points throughout the year. And I hope that as you're looking at this, guys, you're thinking, man, 1 year from now, my life could look so much different than it does right now. And that's what it was for me. Like, it completely transformed my life. And it was just by, going in, focusing on marketing, which is what we do a lot inside of the Savvy system, and just putting one foot in front of another. So if you want that goal spreadsheet, I highly recommend that you fill it out. You can fill it out on the computer. You can print it off. Maybe you have another place that you want to house all your goals. That's fine too. But if you want the link to that, you can just go to the virtualsavvy.com/goals. There's no opt-in or anything required. You can just download it. And I want to see those, right? I want to hear your goals. How many of you guys have actually filled out the goal spreadsheet already? I want to know. And where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself 1 year? January 2022, right? What are we looking at? What kind of income are you making in your business? Are you subcontracting at this point? How many clients do you have? What does your life look like? Have you achieved that flip the switch goal? Make sure that's on your goal spreadsheet as well, right? So go ahead. That is your challenge. Again, we're challenging you to be bold inside of this 5-day series. And so how are you going to be bold? Be bold in your goals, guys. Be bold in your goals. What's so cool is, like, let's say that let's say that you want to build a 6-figure business. You want to be making $10,000 a month by the end of this year, right? Okay, so let's say that you get to the end of the year and you're only making $9,000 a month. That's pretty darn good, right? So be bold in your goals because, even if you don't completely hit that goal, you're going to be at a completely different place by the end of this year if you set those goals high and you go after them with everything that you have. All right, so super excited because tomorrow is the big day. We are going to do a full webinar. Like I said, most of these trainings have been about 20, 25 minutes. Tomorrow is a full hour-long webinar. So we'll do some Q&A. So it might take a whole hour and a half. So block off from like 12 to 1, 12 to 1:30 for tomorrow's training, because we're really, really going to dive into pricing, packaging, marketing, all the goods. The biggest question that we always get is like, Abby, I think I can do this. I can set the goals. I think I'm skilled enough. How do I get clients? I don't know how to market. And so we're going to be talking about that tomorrow. It's Virtual Assistants, the ultimate crash course. So I'm going to be taking you step by step through my signature system of how to price, package, market your VA business. And then tomorrow afternoon, we'll actually be launching the Savvy System, which is my signature course. It's a year-long training program. You get lifetime access to the course and the content, but it's designed to be a program that you go in and for 12 months, you just revolutionize your business. You start it from the ground up. So if you want to be on the wait list for that course, you can go to SavvySystem.com. We open the doors tomorrow. I'm so excited. All right, that's it. That's what I have for today. Let's go ahead and do a live Q&A time. So I'm going to change my screen here real quick, and I'm going to bring Melanie back up. Let's see here. 1 second. All right. Melanie, hey, how's it going, girl?
Good. This was awesome, Abby. I love all the tips. And I like the chart, seeing the visual, seeing how how you can grow from each stage. That was awesome.
Yeah, that chart is really helpful to me, just because I always just want to know, like, what could I do, right? Like, what's the possibility? And then I can kind of manage my own goals around that. But it is pretty nice to be able to see that step by step. For
Totally.
Sure.
And we have some really awesome questions here. So Jezreel wants to know, is there a lifetime membership for SavvySystem and Savvy Vault? And then also, how much is it?
Yeah, for sure. So what's cool about the SavvySystem is that everybody who purchases gets lifetime access. So the course opens tomorrow, and once you're in, you are in, you are part of our Savvy family, and we are going to be helping you along your business. You know, and you get that lifetime for the lifetime of the course, which we don't plan on shutting it down. I'm going to be doing this when I'm 90. So yeah, so you'll get lifetime access to the course, the community. We do proposal reviews. We have live events that happen pretty much on a weekly basis. So there's accountability calls, and then any updates to the course too. So if we, 5 years from now, virtual assistants will probably look a little different than it does now. So we'll be updating the course to keep you guys, up to date on what's actually happening there.
Okay, awesome. And and was that for the Savvy Vault too?
Oh, Savvy Vault. So Savvy Vault, we don't normally have lifetime access. It's just a monthly membership. So Savvy Vault's our tech training membership, $47 a month, and you can kind of come in, take what courses you want, cancel anytime. But what's cool is that during this launch, so January and July is when we do our big public launches for the SavvySystem. During those 2 times, you can actually bundle the 2 together. It's called the Ultimate SavvySystem. And during that time, you can get lifetime access to both. So it's actually the only time that you can get lifetime access to the Savvy Vault is whenever you are joining it with SavvySystem and doing that. It's $24.97 or 13 payments of $197 for lifetime access to both. It's a freaking steal.
Well, and this is the last time they're going to be able to get it at that price, right? Because next time the prices are going up. So, and then somebody asked, if you use the 10% off VIP code, can you still sign up with the payment plan?
Yes, for sure. So that 10% off, the coupon code that we'll be sending out tomorrow, is good for any of the plans. So pay in full, payment plans, basic or ultimate.
And then Laura says, if I do the virtual Savvy course, can I upgrade to the ultimate when I have the money?
So yes, essentially what upgrading to the ultimate would be just adding on the SavvySystem. So it wouldn't be the lifetime, but you could do the annual or the monthly membership.
Awesome. And I really like this question. Sonia asks, how do you respond if you are self-taught and someone asks what training you have?
Yeah, honestly. So I'll tell you guys this. We've hired a lot of VAs too, right? So I've trained VAs, I've been a VA, I've hired VAs. This has been my life since 2015. And what I have found is that whenever you are submitting a job opportunity, you guys aren't submitting resumes, right? Like nobody's looking to see if you have a college degree in this or what courses you've taken in it or whatever. What people are looking at is, do you have the skills? Do you have testimonies of people that you've worked with? Can you just prove in a discovery call that you know what you're talking about? And if you don't know a certain area, that's okay. Are you just the type of person that's going to go above and beyond? And so that's why in our course, we teach you something called value first. We'll talk about it a little bit tomorrow, but this value first methodology that we implement and that we teach all of our students is a way to show your client, hey, I'm the real deal, right? And when you can show them, I know what I'm talking about. I'm just a person that goes above and beyond. Even if you don't know a specific software, like internally, our team, we have 16 full-time people on our staff now, plus we hire contractors. The thing that we're always looking for is not, is this the most skilled person, but is this person the right culture fit? Are they going to go above and beyond? And we will hire for culture and for work ethic over skill every time. So hopefully that's helpful.
Okay, awesome. And Mara, I hope I said your name correctly. It's a year-long program. Does that mean I won't be able to start the business until the course is done?
Not at all. So we actually teach you in month 1 to start. You will actually be reaching out to people in the very first month. And that's why we have a 30-day money back guarantee on the course too, is because there's people that are like, okay, Abby, I'm going to get in and I'm just going to work my booty off and I'm going to try to get my first client in the first month, because essentially, if you're doing the payment plan, which is $97 a month, and you get one client to pay you for 1 hour a month, or one hour a week, sorry, which clients are going to pay you for more than 1 hour a week. We don't suggest you do 4-hour a month packages. Most of the time, it's like at least do 10-hour a month packages, right? So if you can get one client, it's literally paying for the cost of the course. So some people will come in and they're like, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go really hard and I'm going to try to get my first client in the first 30 days. And it happens a lot. We don't guarantee that it happens because obviously it depends on how much you're marketing, how much you're getting out there, and different things. But yeah, a ton of people do it.
Okay, great. And Shelly says, I've joined the Savvy Vault last month and I love it. That's awesome, Shelly. If I sign up for the Savvy System tomorrow, does it include the Vault? And also, does the basic course include lifetime access to the Savvy Vault?
Awesome. So the basic does not. So here's what I would suggest for you. If you're wanting to get lifetime access to both, I would email hello@thevirtualsavvy.com and we can help you. We would probably go ahead and cancel your monthly membership and just get you onto the ultimate. That way you can get lifetime access to both. So just email our team, hello@thevirtualsavvy. And for anybody out there that's kind of like, I'm already signed up for one of these things and I want to do both of them, you can always email our team and we can do the best we can to look at your specific case and see if we can get you on the ultimate.
And also, our Savvy System members, if you don't, they also get a 10% or a $10 a month discount too. So if you add it on later, that's something you can do as well.
Yes.
And then Aslan says, will we learn any high value services with the Savvy System or only with the Savvy Vault?
Great question. So the Savvy System, it's a big, amazing course, but we do teach you in the Savvy System to use the skills you already have. So if you have, and we help you identify those skills, right? So what are the skills that you probably already have that you don't even realize that business owners could use? Things like customer service, invoicing. Maybe you have past experience with an industry like real estate, or maybe you have past experience with building websites. Maybe there's something that you already have. The course will teach you how to price, package, will help you out with a contract. We will do the marketing. We'll set up your onboarding systems. We'll do discovery call training. You can do proposal reviews. That is the Savvy System. If you need to learn higher tech, more skills, you want more industry or skill trainings, that's where you would add on Savvy Vault if that's something that you want to do, but it's not a requirement.
Love it. And Katarina says, since I am also working full-time, is the program available after hours? Are we going to have step-by-step examples, get help if we need it, help us with clients, emails, etc.? And I love this one.
Yeah. So Melanie could probably answer this one because this is what she did, right? Go for it, Melanie.
So yes, yes to all the things. So when I started my virtual assistant business, I was working a full-time job for the first 5 or 6 months before I was able to quit because I was booked out. But one of the reasons I was able to be so successful is because of the support, because of the community that also comes with the Savvy System. So we like to say it's more than just a program. It's a community of people that are there to give you feedback on proposals and your portfolios and your logos, and you really get in the modules a step-by-step how to start and grow your business.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yay. And then so Andrea asks, at the completion of the course, is there a badge of completion? And we did kind of chat on this yesterday, but for those that are just joining us today.
Yeah, so we are releasing badges this year. So it's not necessarily a certificate. It's not like we don't have a certification program yet. A certification would have to have testing and renewals and all of those things. We may be doing a certification later this year, maybe next year, but as of now, the Savvy System is the course, but people have been asking us, could I at least have like a badge or something to put on my website? And so we are working on releasing that. Yes.
Awesome. And Brittany asks, can I use a letter of recommendation in my portfolio from my day job when starting my VA business?
Oh, I think that's a great idea. Yeah, I think that would be awesome because one of the things that we teach you how to create a portfolio. And one of the things that we have you do inside of the portfolio is have a testimonies page. So how do you have testimonies if you haven't worked for clients yet, right? And so the best thing you can do is to get people who know you just to vouch for your character and your work ethic. So that would be a perfect example of that.
So true. And someone asks, I'm based in Australia. Are the concepts in the system applicable?
For sure. So we have 100, keep going back. Is it 106 or 107 lessons? I need to go back and look. We have over 100 lessons inside. And the only two that will not apply to you would be taxes and legalities. And by not apply, I mean that you may have to go further outside the system to find all of the answers that you need. So for instance, taxes, obviously, so we teach you how to do a P&L sheet. That's universal. You need to have a profit and loss statement, right, for your business. You need to be keeping track. You need to have a separate business account. All of those principles are going to still apply. But when we say go get an EIN number, that's US specific, right? Or if we say, there are a couple of things that it's like, all right, this is how much you should save back approximately for taxes for your federal income tax in the US, but that's going to look different if you live in a different country. So those are the kinds of things that are a little bit different. And the same thing with legalities. We provide you a contract. Your contract should be good anywhere in the world. However, we do really strongly advise that you have an attorney in the country you live in. Take a look at the contract and just give their final pass over and say, oh, maybe you need to add this thing, or this is something, in this country, you have to do something a little bit different. So those would be the only two sections, but pricing, packaging, onboarding, discovery calls, marketing, all of that is universal, which is why we have people from all over the world who take our course.
I love it. And Jenna says, just starting my VA journey. I'm looking for contracts to protect my business for future clients. Is it possible to create your own contract, or do you have to go through someone else to get one?
So I definitely recommend having an ironclad contract. If there's nothing else that you purchase for your business, it would be a contract created by an attorney specifically for virtual assistants. So we do sell one of those on our website. You could also just have an attorney draft one up for you. Ours is just $97 for just the contract. That's also included in the SavvySystem if you purchase the SavvySystem. So what's cool about it is that it's called the VA Toolbox. It's a contract for your business, but it's also a subcontracting agreement. So once we talked about building subcontractors, it's an agreement for you and your client, but then we also include an agreement for you and your subcontractor, and the attorney that created the contracts actually will give you feedback. So if you have questions about your contract, you can email her and she'll give you advice on like, hey, here's how you should word this. Or if my client's asking me to change this in the contract, should I do it? Should I not? You actually get to like email an attorney about that. And that's included in the price of the VA Toolbox. But the VA Toolbox is included in the SavvySystem. So initially you get that in the SavvySystem as well, which is cool.
Absolutely. And Lucy asks, should your business name include virtual assistant?
Good question. So it's really up to you, honestly. If you think that you're going to stay as a virtual assistant for a long time, then go for it. If that's kind of like your big, like 3-5-year plans. But a lot of people come in as VAs and then they end up transitioning to, Pinterest managers or Instagram managers or whatever it may be. So, but the good news is that even, let's say that you, like that was my name. I was Abby Ashley Virtual Assistants. AbbyAshley.com. That was it. And so, which now directs you to the Virtual Savvy, by the way, if you go type it in. But that I started out, AbbyAshley.com, but then my kind of subheading was virtual assistants. So it could be easy to change that, right? Like if I ever wanted to use AbbyAshley.com for coaching or for consulting or whatever, I could change that down the line. So that's an option too. So it's really up to you. There's no right or wrong answer.
Okay, awesome. And Maricela wants to know, do you believe that you can get a higher income as a virtual assistant just using the freebie tools?
Okay, sorry. Say it one more time.
Oh, so do you think, she asks, do you believe that VA starting off can achieve a higher income using all the freebie tools offered? She says that she's on a budget and doesn't know if the course is the right for her.
I get it now. Sorry, I was like twisting that in my head. So, so here's what we actually recommend that you use like free tools to start your business. I don't think like you're going to know when it's time to invest in more tools. So it's one of the reasons why we love like Dubsado. We talk about Dubsado a lot, is because with Dubsado, your first 3 clients are free. So you're making money, and then, oh, I got my 4th client. Well, okay, I can pay for Dubsado now because I've already, got 3 paying clients, and now I'm on to my 4th. So same with other tools. We usually tell you, use Wave apps in the beginning for invoicing. That's another great option. Tools like Trello for project management. You don't have to invest in other tools. Most of what's out there, you can just do for free or use the free version. And then once it's like, okay, it's time to really upgrade, then go ahead and upgrade.
Absolutely. And then she also wants to know if she can figure this out on her own, or would you recommend still signing up for the SavvySystem even on a budget?
Oh, okay, on a budget. So again, that's up to you. Like my methodology is I love having a step-by-step system. I was a good student. Okay, I'll just say I wasn't like a perfect student. There were like 5.0 people. I was not one of those people, but I was a good student, and I've always been like, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. like I can do the assignments well. And so that's why we laid our course out where it's literally like you just do the assignments. So can you start a business without taking my course? Absolutely you can. You don't have to take my course or anybody else's course to build a successful business. Not a requirement. Is it going to be a lot easier? Yeah. It's just, the barrier to entry. So it's like, you just kind of have to do that own analysis. Is like, okay, is this money that I'm going to put up front? Do I feel like I'm going to get that back quicker if I do a course? Or would I rather potentially take more time, but not invest in a course? And there's really no wrong answer. It's just, you have to decide for yourself, which is better.
I love that. And so let's see here. We have so many amazing questions. Sonia asks, are the higher end services, the tech services in the Savvy Vault, detailed enough to get you up and running at the end of viewing the videos?
Yeah. So the courses inside of Savvy Vault, we have a mixture. I would say we would have like if this was college, we would have like 1 and 200 level of most of them. So it's a really good introduction. We definitely teach you can start offering that service once it's done. But there are some more advanced things sometimes inside of than what we have in the Vault too. We do our best to keep them updated, and we are continuing to add more and more advanced levels. But initially, the basis of what we have is a really, really thorough introduction to the courses or to the different tech. So I feel comfortable, and most, maybe our Savvy Vault members can attest too. You can hear from them in the comments, but for the majority, like you can take this. We usually recommend that you do, like, say you're taking ConvertKit. Well, ConvertKit has a free trial, right? And so, so you can take the course while you're doing the free trial of ConvertKit, and that way you can get in, you can play around, you can get to know it. So I guess my answer is like, again, let's take that ConvertKit course for answer. For example, are you ever going to run into something that's not in the course? Probably so. And like, I would consider myself a ConvertKit expert. Like, I know that program inside and out, but there's still stuff that I'm like, customer service, what do I do here? Right. And I think that that's going to be the case with anything. So, I feel very confident about the courses. I think our Savvy Vault students are probably letting you know too, like the courses are really, really good. They're really, really in depth. But there's always more to learn with any tech.
Absolutely. And Maricela asks, can you write this off with in your taxes for the Vault and the SavvySystem?
Yes. So that's what's cool. So anything, I hope you guys are doing this, even if whether you're using QuickBooks or if you just have an Excel spreadsheet, right? Like, write down every single dollar that you're spending for your business. If you buy a new laptop, a new microphone, a camera, an online course, if paying for something like Dubsado, make sure you're keeping track of all of that, because yes, everything that you will pay taxes on the profit in your business. So if you make $10,000 and you spend $5,000 on courses and equipment and all of those things, you should only pay taxes on the $5,000 profit. So if you're not keeping track of all your expenses, then the government's going to be like, you made $10,000. It's like, no, I didn't. I made 5,000, right? So you need to be keeping track of all of your expenses. So yes, so that you can only be taking taxes off of the profit.
And Mara has a 2-in-1 question. So one, is this a self-paced course? Yes. And also, and then I'll let you answer that one first before I.
Yes, it absolutely is. You can come in, take the lessons as quickly or as slowly as you need to.
And then if she signs up for the ultimate, would she have access to Savvy Vault immediately?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, I mean, it usually takes like 10 or 15 minutes for just our system to process and send you your passwords and everything. But yep, you get immediate access to both.
And Lenka asks, Abby, could you please give some examples of high-end services?
Yeah, actually, let's end with this one if that's okay. Or is there another one that you think would be really good?
No, I think that we've covered mostly everything. Yes.
Okay, cool. So let's go with this one. Some examples of high-end services, and I love talking about this because I love talking about scaling our businesses. So examples would be anything that you can niche down by specialty or by industry. Okay, so high-end services could be that you are an online business manager, or that you specifically work with real estate agents or the wedding industry, where I really see people like excel and start to have like those $1,000 packages plus is when they're niching down by specialty. So I'm a YouTube manager. I'm a Facebook ads manager. I build websites. I, do Dubsado setup. I do Pinterest management. Those types of skills. And there's so many. I mean, you could build funnels for people, right? There's, you could have like migration services where you take somebody from one type of email platform to another type of email platform. There's a lot of different high-end services out there. So normally what we tell people to do, if you don't have a glaring, this should be my high-end service, start out as a general VA. I think it's great to start out as a general VA because then you just get to kind of taste all the different, all the different meals. You get to let me do a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this. Ooh, I realized I hate doing this. That's going off my services list. Oh, I kind of like doing this. Oh, I love doing this. And whatever that thing is that you love, it's like, okay, could this be a high-end service? How could I figure out how to turn this thing that I really, really love doing into a high-end service? And I honestly think that most things could, with enough creativity, most of the skills you have could be turned into a high-end service.
And Abby, I was going to say that too, that I've seen people creatively carve their own paths, as that's one of our values too, where I've seen people make a killing off of teaching their clients how to take selfies for their business portfolios and for social media. And it's anything that you're good at, you can make money off of, right?
Yeah. And so that's, right now you're like, well, right now my only skill is invoicing and answering emails. Okay, so you're answering emails. Does that mean you're a good writer? Because what could that path take you down? No, maybe you need some more skills. Maybe you need to take a copywriting course, or you need to dive in and do get in a little deeper. But if I really honed in, I love writing, I really honed in on that. One of my really good local friends here, she started off just kind of doing a little bit of everything. And now people are paying her $10,000 to ghostwrite books for them. So a pop, right? And so she needs 10 of those people to make, or she needs not even 10 of those people to make a 6-figure income. So it's one of those things that what are you good at? How could we hone this in to make it a high-end service?
Yep. Okay.
Awesome. Okay, guys. So at the very end of each of our live streams, we've been doing our challenge. And so we're going to go and we're going to take a look and see what our Be Bold challenge is for today. So essentially my team was like, let's just figure out how to embarrass Abby and Melanie. So That's what we're going to do. We have been challenging you guys to be bold. I hope that you're going to be bold in your goals. I hope that you're going to be bold in the way that you tell people about your business. And essentially, my team said, well, you guys need to be bold too. And so they came up with a dare. So every day we have a dare. So let's see what today's dare is. Karaoke lyric change.
Oh no.
I think every time Melanie goes, oh no. So let's see what we're in for today. Vanilla ice, ice baby.
Oh my gosh.
This is yeah, we can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready? Here we go. I'm first. Yo, TVS, let's kick it.
Ice, ice, savvy. Ice, ice, savvy.
All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. My brand new something grabs a hold of me tightly, flow like a harpoon daily and nightly. Later, corporate, it's time for your VA business to grow.
Ice, ice, savvy.
Na 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 na.
Box savvy.
That's it. It's your turn to be bold. We believe in action over perfection here at the Virtual Savvy. Hence why we just rapped for you. So we believe in you. It's your turn to be bold. Make sure you download that goals spreadsheet that we talked about earlier and start making some goals, identifying where you're going to be by the end of this year. Let's be bold together. Thank you guys so much. This has been so much fun. And tomorrow is going to be epic. We're going to talk all about marketing. We're going to be talking about how to get clients. So make sure that you show up tomorrow right here on my Facebook page. We'll be on YouTube. We're in our Savvies group. Join us at noon Central Time tomorrow. Let's see, January 22nd at noon Central Time. And we will see you there for our ultimate virtual assistants crash course. Yes. All right. Bye.